guys, welcome back to my channel. So as per the title guys, you can see in today's video we're gonna be doing a reaction video to this lady that you're viewing here on your screen. And I have seen this lady in the past. She has just popped up here on my YouTube channel. So basically, prior to this whole unfortunate situation happening, which momentarily she's gonna tell y'all, she basically built her entire platform on how she was this new trophy wife. And based upon what I'm seeing now, I remember her channel was called The New Trophy Wife, but now as you guys can see, she has changed it to Isis, which I'm gonna assume is her name. So unfortunately, this woman decided that she was gonna marry to a Dusty, and based upon so much of the comments that I have been seeing, as you guys can see, at this time and point, this video has gone viral. So basically, she's gonna explain to you everything that has transpired after her one getting with a Dusty, two, based upon the comments, she married him within a week, and she also had kids prior to her going and getting married to this Dusty. But nonetheless guys, let's listen to what she had to say.
Hi ladies, hi trophies. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here.
Just look at her.
If you hear any noise in the background, that's the new baby.
Yeah, she recently had another baby.
A lot has happened since the last time that I recorded. I think the last time you guys saw me, I was in my second trimester, and yeah, I think I did post an update in the community section when the baby was born, and I said that I would be back soon, and that was a few months ago now. I thought that when I came back on here that it would be to maybe do like some kind of newborn favorites or meet my new baby or something like that, but
imagine that,
unfortunately, it's been a little over a month since I had to end up leaving my husband.
And sidebar, I do have to say, I really commend her for doing this, because she herself, like I said, she basically built her platform on how she had married to this provider, how this man was literally the most amazing man that she had ever encountered. To fast forward, I don't think they even been married that long, if we're being completely honest. But nonetheless, guys, I think the situation is very, very sad. I think this is why I continue to come on here to tell you guys to stay away from these Dusties. And yes, at the end of the day, I know, regardless of a man's skin tone, regardless of whatever, we already know men are men, but we also know that for the most part, just like this content creator say at the beginning of this video, these male, they molest most of the young girls within the Black community before they reach even adulthood. So guys, this is precisely why I continue to come on here and be yapping about these type of situation, because in her case, yeah, she entering the marriage, the relationship, already having kids prior, but that really don't mean anything, because how many stories do you not know of some of your siblings, unfortunately even yourself, some of your friends being molested by their Dusty father? This is so, so sad.
I honestly don't even really know where to start with this, just because it's just such a hard topic. And I honestly thought that by the time I got on here that I wouldn't have any tears left, because I've just cried so much.
I can only imagine. got this girl. I can only imagine what she's
It's
going
like
through.
I built this channel and this whole brand around being this man's wife and
Right.
trying to teach other women how to attract good men and provider men and all these different things. And I truly held my husband or saw him as the bar for what every woman should, type of man that, or type of husband that every woman should aspire to have. And I didn't realize that the person I married was actually going to be my biggest nightmare.
Can you imagine as a new wife having to come out here, like she just mentioned? She literally built her platform on her being this new trophy wife, her having a provider man, only for this demon to come out here and do what he did to these babies. This is so disgusting. This is why I will never change my perspective when it comes to these males. Never ever.
So basically, when I first met my husband, as I've already talked about in another video, I think it was my single mom video, I explained, a little bit about how we met. And I really thought that that man was my Prince Charming.
Yeah, they always do their representative.
So when I first met my husband, I thought that he was my Prince Charming. I thought that he was my knight in shining armor, and
Yeah, I'm sure that's
he
how he was
portrayed
presenting
himself to
himself.
be
Yeah.
this amazing, upright, righteous Christian man.
And this is why I feel like women, when they have kids, they have to be like extra cautious because we will see these dusty male out here claiming to be so holy, claiming to be so righteous. Hell, even these male that are out here calling themselves pastors and prophet. How many cases have we not seen of these demons coming out here? One, displaying all of the homophobic behavior that they continue to spew, only to then later find out the reason why they were talking all this ish about people within the LGBT plus community. It was only because deep down that is their real true desire. But unfortunately, because they're out here being these pimping out the people in the congregation, they have to continue up with their facade, having these wives that they don't even like in the first place, right? This is why I feel like us as single women, we have to be cautious. But I feel like if you have kids, you have to be like 10 times more cautious when you decide that you want to engage with any of these dusty male.
And I believed him.
Of course you did.
I think shortly after we got married, and this is something that I haven't talked about, I started noticing like certain things changed with.
Of course they change because like I said, these male once they want to get you, we already know if it takes them their last penny, if it takes them years in years out, they're gonna have their proxy, they're gonna do whatever they feel that they have to do in order to come and prey on you, in order to conquer you. And this is why I feel like I said, I feel like women, when y'all have kids, y'all have to be extra cautious because How many times have we not heard these dusty male coming out here talking about how they will prey on women that are poor, how they will prey on women that are single baby mamas, because they claim that these women, they don't really have all of these options out here. So if you show them a little attention, they're gonna feel like they're special, right? And all their plan all along was for them to once try to make you feel special so that they can not only have access to you, but your kids as well.
him. And I just started to see a few things that I didn't like.
Yeah, his true
But
demon self.
I honestly thought that some of these were things that I could get past.
What? Am I seeing correctly? As you guys can see here on your screen, she put, he argued me 4 times in the first few months of our marriage. Oh my God, this is disgusting. And naturally, I don't really know this lady. I'm not trying to be mean, but if this male is doing this to you within literally months of your marriage, don't you think that in the future it's only gonna get worse? And I would think as a mommy, you're gonna jump in your mommy mood. And shouldn't you be thinking, well, if this demonic entity is doing this to me, I have two little beautiful daughters that I have to protect. I would say, well, if this male is capable of doing this to me, who is his wife, I can only imagine what this demon could potentially do to my two daughters that aren't necessarily his kids. And yes, we already know that these aren't necessarily his biological kids, but like I mentioned previously, these male doesn't care if these are their adopted kids. They don't care if it's their legal kids. They don't care if they're biological kids. These male are just demonic. They're sick.
It's like sad to even say like I could get past some of these things. I don't even know where to start. 6 weeks ago, I was changing my daughter, my 4-year-old daughter,
Wow. Ugh.
and
Can you imagine, guys?
I noticed that when I changed her, she was red and very sensitive. And immediately,
Mommy bear 15. Ugh.
my first thought was, did someone touch her?
Of course. So sad.
Oh, God. Gosh.
And I do have to say, shout out to her for believing her kids, because oftentimes we would hear stories of women coming out here once they're grown women talking about how their mom knew that their monster of their father was literally violating them. But we already know so much women are obsessed with the idea of them being married, regardless of them being married to these demons, to these monsters. We know that oftentimes these women will take a complete blind eye. So I do have to say I'm very happy, I'm very proud of her for basically believing her kids.
So I asked her, I said, baby, did somebody touch you? And she ended up saying it was daddy.
Can you imagine this lady when her literally 4-year-old child told her that daddy touched her? And just, and now, like, I'm gonna only imagine this woman's mind was probably going 1,000 miles per hour. Like, had this been happening ever since she got with him? Oh my God, this is so disgusting. And yes, we can all speculate, well, if it started happening soon as she married him, given the fact that obviously she's the mom, she's taking care of them, she probably would have noticed prior. But don't that raise the question? Had this male been abusing this 4-year-old kid ever since he married this woman? And guy, not only the 4-year-old, but oh my God, just listen to this.
I felt like my world ended
Oh, I can only
on
imagine.
that day.
He needs to be under the jail, not inside, under,
My husband wasn't home at the time
10
when
feet
she
under.
told me, but I knew he would be coming home soon, so all I could do was just say, don't tell him that you told me. And I
Wow,
just instantly started trying to think of how I could get my kids out of the house.
of course.
Because I knew if I confronted him
Yeah,
or asked him about it, that he would just lie
right,
and that he would probably just continue to keep doing stuff to her, but just become more covert or more
right.
sneaky or
Mm-hmm.
whatever.
Or who knows? He could have
As
reacted
soon as my husband
worse.
got home, I he was actually picking up the boys from school, my two older boys from school. As soon as he got home, I told him that I was gonna go Halloween shopping with my sister because I just needed an excuse to get out of the house with all the kids. And I knew if I said something like, oh, I'm going to the grocery store, that it would be suspicious. Like, why am I bringing all the kids and like
Right.
packing things, like
She was very
things that we would
strong.
need and things like that. So going Halloween shopping was the best
Yeah,
thing I could think of to just hurry up and get the kids out of the house.
right. And another thing, guys, like imagine your 4-year-old telling you that the monster that you decided to marry is basically violating her. Like I said, I'm not a mother, but I am an aunt. I have friends that they have kids, and I see how when their mommy mode is turned on, how they completely transform into a complete different person. So just imagine her thinking, listening to her daughter as she's literally just changing her. Imagine what it must have felt like. This is so, so disgusting. And like I said, I truly feel like this meal should be at least 10 feet under the jail. Disgusting.
I'm sorry, I had to get myself together.
Oh no, girl, you're fine. I can only imagine. Yeah,
So
recording this is only gonna
when I
make
got
it.
to the hospital, they basically told me that we had to go to another hospital because they didn't do physical exams, like that kind of physical exam there. So a police officer escorted the kids and I to another hospital where they were able to evaluate my daughters. It ended up coming out that he had actually been touching both of my daughters,
Oh my God.
who are only
These
2 and
destiny.
4 years old.
2 and 4 years old. And this monster has been taking advantage of these two kids. Like, how can a grown ass man feel comfortable? Like, what are you doing with these babies? 2 and 4 years old. Like, are you really this sick? Are you really this disgusting? Like, oh my God, these male, like, oh my God. And guys, I do have to say, like, this is why I'm gonna continuously come out here and caution black women to base and caution black women to always do what is best for you. And Black woman, at this day and age, I'm gonna tell you what is best for you is for you to leave these dusty meals right where they belong. Because just like she said, obviously when he initially was trying to convince her to give him an opportunity, obviously he presented himself to be this wonderful, amazing provider man, only for her to find out not that much later that this demon has been violating both of her daughters. Like, this is the sickest of the sickest. She also
Um,
needs to check on her sons, because if he's capable of, I mean, she just said on the screen that within the first months of their marriage that he took advantage of her 4 times. And now that it has been proven that he did the same thing to her two, literally 2 and 4 year old daughter, now if I was her, I would also do the checkup necessary on my son, because if he's capable of abusing you and the kids that are legally now his kids, pretty sure this monster will be capable of doing the same thing to your sons.
it still feels like a dream.
Oh, I can only imagine.
Like, when when this first happened, I just kept waking up every day and just hoping that this was a dream.
So
Um,
sad.
because it's literally my worst nightmare.
I'm sure
It's
it's
my worst
almost.
nightmare. I myself am a product of RAPE. Um,
Oh,
that's
wow.
how I came to be.
I'm so sorry.
And was also, abused as a child.
So in this situation, just imagine, she just said it. Unfortunately, she's a product of also another male that decided to violate her mother. So I'm pretty sure this probably always have her looking over her shoulders. But not a wife, but I can only imagine you as a wife, you have told the demon that you decided to marry. I'm pretty sure she told him this had happened to her. And what did this disgusting male decided to do? Make her kids go through this same traumatic situation. This man, guys, I'm getting so angry right now.
uh, by a neighbor's husband. And I specifically prayed to God that my children would never, ever, ever have to go through this.
So unfortunate.
And I'm just not quite sure how this happened, why this happened.
And I know stuff like this, when it happened, I can only imagine you as a mom, you probably start to beat yourself up. You probably start to blame yourself. But the only one responsible in this situation is the monster that she married. This has absolutely nothing to do with you. I don't really know this woman, but by her simply saying that she is a product of the same stuff, I'm pretty sure she was extra protective of her daughter. So by her feeling like, even though I tried to protect them from going through what I also went through, I failed. And I do have to say, it is not your fault. The only one responsible at hand is this monster. And I hope that he eventually ends up under the jail.
I just don't know how he was able to get away with it and so sneaky. Because with my own trauma, I watch my kids like a hawk.
I can only imagine.
Like, I don't like them sitting on people's laps.
This is why she probably
None of
feel
that.
like she has
And
failed
he
him.
knows how much I cannot stand men like him. And to think like I couldn't even
That's probably why he did it.
go to sleep in my own house
Right.
and know that my children are safe.
Yeah. I'm sure that's when he was doing it.
Just by me going to sleep, my children were left unprotected.
By the man that you decided to marry, that he said that he will love and protect you and your kids. So disgusting. He better be under the jail. And I'm serious. These poor kids, they're traumatized.
So I don't know what the future of this channel is gonna be. I don't know if I'm gonna change the name or what.
So guys, as you guys can see, this is the end of the video, but I did want to come on here and react to this because like I said, the past she has just popped up on my channel. I have watched some of her stuff because I think her very first video that she ever made, she were talking about Shira 7 and how she had started to take Shira 7 advice, and then how she had met this provider and then he went on and married her, and she just were talking about all of the stuff that other women can do to also attract provider men. And I do have to say, oftentimes when women talk about provider men and then stuff like this happen, oftentimes what other women that don't have provider men like to say, this is what you get for wanting a man to take care of you financially, which I think it is quite ludicrous because you guys do know that within other communities this is literally the norm, right? Only in the Black community do Black people expect Black women to continuously be out here working 2 and 3, 4 jobs while being married. I mean, if you're gonna be married to a guy, if you want to work, I feel like that should be an option, because you being a wife, you being a mom, is literally you're on the clock 24 hours. But like I said, this situation is extremely sad, but I would love to hear what you guys think about this dusty male going pursuing this woman shortly after marrying her. And I think no one can convince me otherwise. I truly feel like the reason why this monster decided to act so quickly is because he had a plan all along. And I feel like he knew that in order for him to get access to her innocent babies, he first had to basically convince her to marry him. So disgusting, so despicable. My heart really breaks for not only these babies, but this lady herself, because like I said, there's no way she's not blaming herself for this. But at the end of the day, the only person responsible is this demonic entity. And I continue to say, I wish that this male go under the jail, which is precisely where he belongs. What are your thoughts and opinion are? Please get in the comment section down below, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye, guys.
Black women, it's time to hold ourselves accountable because we are reaping what we sowed. We have lied and gassed Black men up for centuries, letting them think that they are kings with no kingdoms, letting them think that they are the emperor when they are naked. And now we are dealing with the consequences of those actions. Instead of being honest with Black men and requiring them to do better for not only themselves, but the community that they helped create, we have allowed them to tear it apart and then put it back together quietly behind their backs and then still let them get the credit for it.